You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Dr. Paul Greg Roberts, former head of policy at the Treasury Department, is an expert economist and can tell us what he sees going on with the Fed. Some countries are going below zero in interest rates. They're talking about going up a little bit. We see a lot of mainstream news admitting the economic outlook is grim. So, Dr. Roberts, give us your prognosis on that.
Okay. They talk about maybe pushing interest rates up in order to make people a little more comfortable holding dollars, because the whole world understands that you can't have massive creation of money and debt and negative interest rates. And so when they talk about raising interest rates, it's just talk to try to block flight from the dollar. That's all it is, because if they raise the interest rates, the stock market's going to collapse, the bond market's going to collapse. And they've got chaos. When you've spent trillions of dollars to save 4 banks since 2008, these are the banks that deregulation allowed to get too large, and these are banks that gamble. They don't make normal loans. They gamble in a casino, and they don't cover their bets. The taxpayers cover the bets, and the Federal Reserve covers the bets by printing money and buying the bad bets. And that's what American economic policy is. That's what the Fed is locked into. It really has no way to get out of it. It can't get out of it. And it's stuck with it. And because it wouldn't let the banks fail, because the banks control the Fed. Look, who have the secretaries of the Treasury been? It's the former banksters who caused the financial crisis. Every one of them have rotated through the Treasury, so they're protecting their own mistakes. Look at the Fed. What is the Fed? It's the same people. Look at the New York Fed. Who are the directors of the New York Fed? It's the same banks.
Everybody at the Justice Department at the top is part of those lobbying groups and consulting groups that write the regulations and the policies and file the papers to let the big banks get away with the derivatives. I mean, it's just a revolving door.
It's one small group, and they control the economic policy. So how are they going to take a decision that blows up everything they've been trying to do? So they'll keep this going as long as they can. They have everything rigged. It's a house of cards, but it's standing, and it will continue to stand as long as foreign countries are willing to hold the dollar.
What does it signify that even The Guardian reports that a lot of these big banker heads, billionaires, are building secret airstrips and redoubts in New Zealand and in the Ozarks, and that they're scared getting bodyguards?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it means, but what we do know is the country does not have an economic policy that serves the country or serves business or serves economic growth. You see, they tell you that the Fed's policy is designed to encourage the economy, but we don't see a recovery.
Sure.
There's no recovery. They make one up, but there's not, because they don't count the unemployed people.
It's amazing. It's just insanity. In the minute we have left, I don't know how these 4 or 5 mega banks think they're going to survive a nuclear war with Russia, but maybe they're so arrogant they think that they're immune from that.
The neoconservatives think that the United States can win the nuclear war because our stuff is better than the Russians. And we have ABMs, anti-ballistic missiles. And so when the Russians try to retaliate to our first strike, we'll shoot their missiles down. So this is the myth. I'm reading a book now by, I think, Andrew Coleman. It's called, what is it called?
It doesn't matter. But
anyhow, he shows that the United States has endless faith in technology as a way of conducting war, and it always fails. It has never worked, ever. It didn't work in Vietnam.
I mean, we know the Russians are going to have subs pop up with cruise missiles and blow up every. I mean, it's going to be an absolute disaster. Yeah, but sure, we'll destroy them worse, but there's so many nukes it'll destroy the whole planet. It's insane.
It's insane, but everybody in Washington is insane. You know, I have no confidence, Alex, that there's anybody in the government that has an ounce of integrity or an ounce of morality.
It's scary. We're going to talk to you more about this in the future. Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, sir. Kiss your grandchildren.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat